Hello and welcome back. And in this video, we're going to focus on the toolbar with the shortcut icons. And these are immediately below the top level navigation. So we're going to start up at the top left corner again. And if you're not sure what a shortcut does, then all you need to do is hover over it. This one is a new chart. Here you can see something called profiles on that one. And on we go. So if you're not quite sure, just simply hover over it with your mouse pointer and it'll tell you what each one does. If we start at the left, click on the little drop down arrow there. This is for adding a new chart, and you'd select your currency pair from the list. Just click that off. So that's a quick way of adding a new chart. We move along to the next one. This is profiles. Now profiles I'm going to do on a separate video. It's a great feature for creating a standard workspace, if you like, which you can then replicate using the profiles feature. But I'll be doing a separate video on that to explain how to set it up and how to create them. But you can see from the drop down here, you would save your profile as. So if you had a workspace created that you wanted to save, you could do it from here. And as you can also see in the drop-down menu, we're actually working on the default profile here at the moment. So we have no other profiles created at present. If we move along to, let's click that. If we move along to the next one, this is the Market Watch window, which I mentioned in the introductory video. If we left click, there we go. We have our Market Watch window appears on the left-hand side in the window pane there, pushes the charts over. And if we click again, it disappears. Moving along to the next one, this is a data window. If we click on this, this is for helping you to look at prices. As I move the cursor around there, you can see it will give you the levels and also the time of opening, the high, low, close associated with the price bar on the chart. And that appears on the left-hand side in the same way as the Market Watch and also the navigator window. And again, to close that, simply click on the button at the top right, and that will close it, and your charts will move back to occupy the space. Navigator, again, I introduced this in the first video. We click on that, that opens our navigator. Again, it's a toggle on and off, so we can do it that way, or we can close it on the window itself. Next to that, we have the terminal. This opens at the bottom of the screen, as you can see there. And again, toggle it off, and there we are. This is your strategy tester. If you're looking to backtest or test strategies, that you can do it from the shortcut icon here. Click on it, it appears at the bottom, and again, click it off to close. This is when you are ready for taking a position in the market. Simply click on that. It will open the order window where you can select symbols. You can buy, sell, place your buy, sell orders, and you can set your stop loss and so on and so forth through that window. It's a very quick way of doing it. Now, if we move along here, I'm going to pass over these because these are really more to do with programming, but auto trading also where you're using expert advisors and so on and so forth. Now, through to the next series of icons, this is where you can change the configuration of your chart. And to activate a chart or to make it the active window, you just left click and you'll see that this has changed to red. If I move to the next chart alongside, you'll see this changes to red. So whenever you have an active window, you'll always see that it's active through this little red icon in the right hand corner, which is the if you want to delete the chart from your workspace, you would click that and it would be removed. So this is the active chart. So if we want to change this to candles, then we would simply click on there. If we want to change it to a line, there we go. And now we're back to a bar formation again. Very quick way of doing it, but as always, in MT4 there are lots of other ways of doing the same thing. which I'll cover as we're moving through this series. Now this is the zoom in and zoom out feature, these little magnifying glasses. Again, a very handy little tool. We can see we're on an active chart, so if we click on that, we're zooming into the chart, we're enlarging the price action, and equally we can zoom out in the same way. It's a very handy little tool and one we use particularly with the currency strength indicator. Once it's downloaded and installed, we want to enlarge it, and we can do that using the zoom feature there. Now next door to that we have tile windows. This again is very handy. If I move this chart out of the way, perhaps down there, and then just click on that, you'll see instantly the tile is reset and the space is taken up and your charts are all nice and neat and tidy within the workspace. And it's one I referred to earlier on. If we go to the window here, the tiling window, you can see the icons match is just one particular way of doing it, but you can also cascade tile horizontally. So there are various other ways of doing it. We just happen to have this particular one. This is the default toolbar that you'll tend to find when you first load, but you can change this. I'll show you how to do this in a minute. Now we come to the auto scroll, which is this one, and the chart shift. And on the auto scroll, if we've moved, perhaps we're looking at some price action and we want to make our chart jump back to the start, we simply click this button and there we go, we're back at the correct live edge of the market. The chart shift option shifts the chart over to the left hand side a little bit away from the right hand axis, and you can shift that back again like that. Now the next button is for indicators. If you click the drop down, here you will see a list of some of the standard indicators, and if you scroll to the bottom, this is where you'll find the custom quantum indicators ready for you to install, along with some of the other ones down below here. So that's another way of accessing the indicators. And if you also remember from our top level navigation, you can also access them from the insert here. If we click on the insert, here you can see pretty much the same arrangement from the pop-up menu. Scroll down to your custom, and here you are. You can access your indicators in that way. There are even further ways of doing this, but those are a couple of them. So just click that off there. So that was adding indicators through this toolbar icon, the shortcut icon here. If we move to the next one, this is what we call periods. It's basically timescales, if you like, or the time frames for your charts. If you click on that drop down, here you can see these are the default time frames for all the charts from 1 minute through to the monthly. So that's one way of doing it. You can select that, change that there. If we wanted to change that to a 30-minute chart, that's all we do. We're now on the 30-minute. If we want to change it back to the 4-hour, and you can see it's highlighted here telling you you're on the 30-minute, and also tells you in the top left of the chart itself. Let's click to the 4-hour, we're back again, and there we go. Now, templates is another video I'm going to do separately. Templates are another very, very handy feature like profiles. And what you do with a template is you can use it in many different ways, but essentially set a default arrangement for the indicators and the settings of your indicators for a chart. So it's a very quick way of replicating a candle layout, the indicators you have on your chart, your color preferences and everything else. And then you simply load a template onto a bare chart, onto a default chart, and it will instantly populate with all those default settings of your indicators, your colors, your preferences and everything else. So it's a very quick way to create charts quickly which are to your personal preferences. But I'm going to show you that as well in a separate video. Now alongside, again, this is another way of changing time frames. This is probably the one that most traders use on MT4. If we're on the active chart there, we can see we've got the red button up. We just click that, and as you can see on the left there, it instantly changes to the 1 minute, up to the 5, 15, so on and so forth, back to the 4 hour. So that is what's often referred to as periodicity in MT4. You'll see it in one of the drop-down menus I mentioned earlier. And finally, below, we have some more options here. These are basically, we can add a cursor on or off. We can add vertical lines here to our chart. And we can also add channels. We've got a Fibonacci icon there. We can add text. We can add text labels. And we've even got some annotation with arrows and various bits and pieces in that one with the drop down. There we are. We've got various things there that we can choose. Now, what you can also do with the toolbar, if you want to rearrange it slightly, is, and I'll do it on this one, take your mouse pointer over to the left of each block where you have this graphic here. Left click your mouse button, hold and drag, and we can then move our toolbar up to the top there, and we let go and release, and you'll also see that all our charts have resized. And if we want to take up the space at the bottom, just simply click on the tile windows and they'll be resized again to fill the space completely. So that's the toolbar, and these are very much the default settings, but you can customize these yourself. If we go up to the top level navigation, we go to View, click on the View, and there you are in Toolbars. You'll see that we have these 4 settings here. This is the one that refers to the various time frames, your line studies, your charts, and the standard one to the left. But you can also customize these if you wish. Simply left click on the Customize, and this will open a pop-up window for customizing your toolbar. And here you can insert things. So if we want to insert symbols, for example, we just click on Insert. We click that button there, and then we will click Close once completed. I'm going to close that off now. I'm just going to leave them at the default, but you can customize these with various other icons. You can, of course, remove those that perhaps you don't wish to have up there. So that's a very quick run through the toolbars, the shortcuts. And in the next video, we're going to move on to look at the Market Watch window and also the Navigator and Terminal window in more detail. So thanks for watching, and see you again soon, and bye for now.